صباح الخير جميعا. السلام عليكم جميعا. برحب بحضراتكم. طبعا احنا هنتكلم باللغه الانجليزيه عشان زي ما حضراتكم شايفين احنا عندنا الكونفرنس معانا كامبالا كنود، ومعانا برضو من هولندا دكتور مايكل، وانا النهارده يعني هكون معاكم هنا من القاهره ان شاء الله. وطبعا عندنا برضو مجموعه اونلاين موجوده. في البدايه احب ارحب بحضراتكم في مؤتمر فامكسي، ويعني هنبدا ان شاء الله البرنامج بتاعنا. احنا متاخرين يمكن 10 دقائق، بس اعتقد ان شاء الله هنبدا في ميعادنا مع السبيكرز بتوعنا. Michael, can you hear us? Okay, I think can you hear us now? Okay, بس نتشيك مع مايكل ان هو سمعنا. And I think also we have Dr. Engineer from Uganda, and I think this node has also some attendees on site. So Dr. Engineer, I think the voice is clear now. So I would like to welcome all of you in the first edition of the Federated Africa and Middle East Conference on Software Engineering. As you may know, the conference actually started 2014 with a different brand called FAMECSE, or Africa and Middle East Conference on Software Engineering. And we are proud that in this edition, we join forces with other conferences in the region to build a new brand, which is FAMECSE. Before we start, I would like to welcome Engineer Mahfouz, the CEO of ITIDA, the Information Technology Development Agency. And I think with a very quick welcome note from Engineer Mahfouz.
Hello and good morning, everyone, our distinguished guest speakers, attendees and visitors, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mahfouz, CEO of Egypt's Information Technology Industry Development Agency, better known as ITIDA. As the conference Honorary General Chair and on behalf of the organizing committee and partners, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the Federated Africa and Middle East Conference on Software Engineering, Federated FAMECSE. Federated FAMECSE aims at promoting and strengthening the software engineering community in Africa and the Middle East by gathering practitioners and researchers to present and share the most recent innovations, trends, and experiences in the field of software engineering. This year marks the growth of the software engineering community in our region following the close collaboration and merger between the Africa and Middle East Conference on Software Engineering, FAMECSE, and the Software Engineering in Africa, SEA. It's a long journey of success that began in 2014 by introducing the FAMECSE conference as the region's first forum in the software engineering field. This year is also special as the event is taking place simultaneously in Egypt and Uganda, reiterating the deep historic ties between the two countries across all domains. Additionally, it's extra exciting this year as we return to the in-person events alongside the hybrid model after a long and hard time since the COVID-19 pandemic. By the way, we should be proud of ourselves, since this crisis has no adverse impact on the software industry, where different reports show that the professional developers community across the continent increased by nearly 4% year on year, despite the pandemic, which in fact increased the global demand for remote tech talent and created more remote employment opportunities for the African developers. We at the Information Technology Industry Development Agency have always been a supporter of the software industry and the whole ecosystem. Software engineering, along with other business and IT services, have accounted for more than $4.5 billion in Egyptian exports last year. So I believe it's an important and timely event for all the stakeholders in this important sector as it features an array of specialized topics, sessions, paper presentations, tutorials, and carefully selected keynote speakers. This year, we have our hybrid conference themed under Software Engineering in the Era of Artificial Intelligence. It primarily aims at exploring how innovation in software engineering can support artificial intelligence development and how AI can provide innovative solutions to advance software engineering practices and techniques. Finally, I wish you all a productive and successful event, and we are looking forward to your active participations in the conference. Thank you.
So let me, in a very few minutes, give an overview about the conference and what we have for you for the coming 2 days. First, as I mentioned before, the conference started in 2014 as the Africa and Middle East Conference on Software Engineering, and I'm happy to see some of the faces that we met before over the last maybe 10 or 9 years in the previous editions. And each year we have a theme for the edition, and this edition is no surprise that it is regarding the software engineering in the era of artificial intelligence. And as I mentioned before, the conference is the merge of 2 main conferences in the region. And perhaps for those who are aware of the international events in software engineering, they know that our region is really undermined, and there is no central conference that covers all the area of software engineering in the region. So the AMECSE and now FAMECSE comes at hand. So we are covering, or we are the prime conference that covers the topic in the area of software engineering in the region. And I'm really happy, and I would like to extend my thanks to Dr. Engineer from Uganda, who started his series in software engineering in Africa, and now we are joining forces to produce to you the United Edition, and we hope this will continue for the coming editions, including more countries in Africa and Middle East. Of course, the theme of the conference, as maybe Engineer Amr mentioned, that the area of artificial intelligence is now dominating, and it's not surprising that we see the software everywhere and in every aspect in our life. The challenge that the artificial intelligence brings to software engineering is really very complicated. So now when we build software engineering systems and we build software that makes the car driveless, and also we can include software in IoT devices that is around us, now the challenge becomes of aspect of security, integrity, testing, and all the aspects that of software engineering development that we used to have in the typical software are now changing. So perhaps the main questions that we want to think about is how we build an architecture for software that is built on AI, how we can test applications that are based on artificial intelligence. And we know that artificial intelligence is an evolving system. So what will be the test cases, how we can test that? The emergence of areas like DevOps and DevSecOps and Agile, all the buzzwords that we have seen over the last 10 years are now even more challenging with the use of artificial intelligence in all these systems. So in this conference, actually, we have selected several topics, and I would like really to extend my thanks to the organizing committee who worked very hard over the last year to bring together keynote speakers, tutorials, and papers so we can present the cutting edge knowledge in this area. And I also would like to thank our organizers who worked very hard over the last year to bring together this very, I would say, complicated edition of the conference, being online and on-site in different places, and hybrid and physical at the same time. I think this was a very interesting experience for all of us, and I hope we will success on that in the next couple of days. For the technical program, I would like also to thank all our technical committee members who participated voluntarily, and they spend a lot of their time to help us in selecting the best papers and tutorials and the best keynote speakers. So we have our key or technical committee spreading all over the world, from India, China, US, Europe, and also from Africa and Middle East. Also, many thanks to our supporters, as usual. You have been with us for a long journey since FAMECSE 2014. So I would like to thank all our sponsors, Huawei, Cisco, Huawei and Exceed, Open UK from UK, and Fixed Solutions, Giza Systems, for their really support and for being actually an active members of our group in organizing this program. Now, just a little bit overview about the technical aspect of the conference. We have received around maybe 30 plus papers, and the acceptance rate for this year is 30%. So 1/3 of the papers that have been submitted to us was accepted. Although we were hoping to have more papers, but we want to keep the standard of the conference to the best and of the high quality technical standards. So I think this is also very correlated to what we had in the previous editions. So we started maybe with 50 or 40% in the first edition, and then we arrived to 33, 32, and now we are almost 30%. So this is a consistent technical quality over the last 8 or 9 years. We have papers, as you will see in our program, from Cameroon, Egypt, India, Netherlands, Rwanda, Senegal, South Africa, Tunisia, Uganda, and Bangladesh. And of course, we will also be very proud that the Association of Computing Machinery, ACM, is for the maybe 5th time in this conference are sponsoring or technically co-sponsoring our proceedings and our technical committee. So this means that the conference really is gaining the international recognition from the quality and from technical perspective, and this is something very we are proud of. And for those who are aware of the process of getting a sponsorship for the elite ACM and SECC Soft committee, they look at the previous editions and they look for the technical program committee and they look for all the aspects and the review process. And once they are confident that this will produce a very good technical outcome, they give us our sponsorship. So I think this is also very important and a prestigious sponsorship. So we thank them very much. And our proceeding will be published in the International Conference Proceeding Series by the ACM Digital Library, and it is a Scopus indexed, of course, library, as you well know. Now, a very quick overview about the program. The program, as usual, it has keynote speakers, scientific papers, and tutorials and panel discussions over the coming 2 days, today and tomorrow. We have a very packed conference program for you, and I wish you can tolerate the heat and the long day and attend as much as you can to get the most benefit of that. So for the keynote speakers, actually, we have a very elite and diverse speakers from all over the world. We have almost 13 speakers from China, from US, and from different countries in Europe, and also from Africa. And I think this is the first edition or the first time in our conference to have this large amount of speakers with diverse background. Topics cover a lot of very interesting landscape of the software engineering. So we have talks about DevSecOps, we have talks about artificial intelligence and software engineering, about entrepreneurship and building startups in software engineering in the era of AI. So I think the diverse topics that we have will make the program very exciting. So our program starts with these keynote speakers every day, and then we will end, or we have the second half of the day split between tutorials and papers, and also we will have a very exciting panel tomorrow about entrepreneurship and how to build startups in software engineering in Africa and Middle East. We have also several tutorials in enterprise architecture and in DevOps, Agile, and also in IoT. And I think these are very exciting. They will present over 2 hours, a lot of technical details with different depth. So I urge you also to seize this opportunity and attend as much as you can from these actual technical sessions. At the end, I would like to thank all those who are participating in building this new brand, and we wish that the brand will grow more and more and dominate Africa and the Middle East. Also, I would like to welcome and thank all those who are attending online. So we have more than 100+ participants are hearing us now online. And I think the mix between the two locations, physical and hybrid, it's a different nature. It makes the conference a little bit vivid, and I hope you will enjoy the 2 days. We will be around for any feedback and comment. And also, please seize the opportunity also to network and to communicate with the community around us here in software and in artificial intelligence. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very successful conference. Thank you. Michael, you can hear us now, right? So I just want to make sure that you're listening. So Michael is the conference co-chair, so I would like to just give the floor to you for a couple of minutes if you want to welcome our guests and maybe shed some light about the conference and what we will have over the coming 2 days. So the floor is yours.
It's a pleasure and honor to be part of the organizers of this conference. I've been lucky to work with a talented team both in Egypt and in Uganda for putting together this wonderful program. I'd like to extend my thanks to everyone that made this possible. It's indeed been a bit challenging where we have been facing some complications, first of all due to Corona and then due to the multiple sites that we need to coordinate. But I think it's been such a wonderful effort by everyone involved, so I think I'm really happy about that. 2 weeks ago I was at the International Conference on Software Engineering in Pittsburgh, and I can say that this AI is one of the hot topics there as well. So I'm very pleased that we have been able to get a number of keynotes of the community, the international community on software engineering and give keynotes and send in papers to this conference. So I think this conference really stands at the crossroads where we can grow to be the important conference for the Africa and Middle East region. I thank everyone very much for coming in person as well. I see there is large amounts of people in Cairo and a good amount of people in Uganda as well. So thanks for attending. I'll keep it short. I just wish everyone a great conference. Take the opportunity to communicate, ask questions and interact with each other. And other than that, just please start and go ahead with the conference.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. And I also, as I welcomed at the beginning, Dr. Engineer from Kampala and his team over there. And I think the conference is being held in the university now, with also attendees online that are joining us from Uganda.